Hey guys, Volcano the Bat here. So today I'm actually going to be talking about something on Project 25. So this will be my first video where I actually do a talking explanation for this channel. But I have been doing a lot of scripting recently, and I've finally figured out what I need to do to fix all of the Chaos Emerald plot holes, as well as answering where the emeralds originated and where they end up to get into Mephilus's grasp, so he can obviously transform into Solaris at the end of the game. So yes, with that said, let's get started. So we're actually going to be starting with the blue Chaos Emerald, specifically because it's actually the very first that appears in the game, and also because it has a big plot hole in the original 06 timeline. So to clarify what this plot hole is, the blue emerald originally originated from Silver taking it to the past, from the 10 years ago past of the accident that occurred when they were doing illegal Solaris experiments. Yes, Silver had this emerald and actually gives it to unconscious Elise before he returns to the present. Now, I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this, but in Shadow's campaign, he actually jumps into the portal with the blue emerald still in his hand. From a realistic point of view of how time travel works, technically speaking, Silver should jump back into the portal with the blue emerald still in his hand, but at the same time, it wouldn't explain how Elise gets a blue emerald from the Soliana festival and pretty much grows up with it. Because if she didn't have the blue emerald, and if that were the case, there'd be no reason for Eggman to actually attack the festival. I mean, sure, he probably still wants Elise, but it would change events, like Sonic wouldn't actually acquire the blue emerald, Eggman wouldn't have anything to bargain on Sonic, and because of that, Sonic would have no reason to go to White Acropolis to trade in the emerald for Elise. Instead, it might have gone a little bit differently. Sonic might have just gone in there and just saved Elise full stop, instead of that time travel BS. Now, make no mistake, I actually do like Crisis City and Flamecourt as stages, but the way it was delivered in terms of plot is a little... oh, okay. Sonic just fell for that. Now, you could say that he knew that this probably was going to happen and he just wanted to see what Eggman was up to, but still, I think that it's a little unlike Sonic's character, even if this game is a reboot to the series, in my opinion anyway. So at this point in time, Eggman would have the blue emerald originally. In his own time, he actually goes ahead and puts it into Egg Genesis Prototype version 1, which Silver eventually does battle and successfully destroys. And that's how he actually acquires the blue emerald. And this obviously leads to the events of him teaming up with Shadow to go back to the past and so on. The problem with this is that it's actually in a really, really big plot loop. It has no original story to where it came from, and it has no story to where and how it ends up in Mephilus's grasp. So my point is that you cannot actually take this blue emerald out of its timeline, or out of this time loop, because if you do, it affects the time loop events. So you could say, oh, maybe Mephilus, took it from unconscious Elise, so that way she didn't know that he was there or something. But again, if you take it out, you're affecting other events that are meant to happen. Again, Eggman would be able to, sure, attack the festival, but he wouldn't have anything to take from Elise. Elise wouldn't have anything to give to Sonic. Eggman wouldn't have anything to bargain with Sonic, and future events wouldn't go the same way, probably causing a paradox for that matter. So for that reason, there is actually no way that Mephiles should be able to have the blue emerald in last episode from this timeline. So obviously a time fix needs to be in order. So that is what I've done with the blue emerald, and I'm actually going to explain to you guys what I have done to fix this time loop, because for a while now I've actually been trying to figure out what I'm going to do to fix this issue, and finally I figured out a way. So with that said, let's get started. The blue emerald originally appeared in an area in Soliana, which would eventually become Aquatic Base, which was found by the Duke of Soliana around the years the Queen of Soliana was actually still alive. As time went on, the accident 10 years ago occurred, and Iblis was sealed into Elise by the power of the blue emerald. The Duke, weakened by this ritual, requested Silver to take young Elise to a safe area along with the blue emerald the Duke used to seal Iblis. Silver and Shadow left the Scepter of Darkness and the blue Chaos Emerald with unconscious Elise. 10 years go by, and Eggman attacks the Soliana Festival, Just as Princess Elise is being kidnapped, she throws Sonic the Blue Emerald, which eventually Eggman tries to bargain with Sonic to swap the Blue Emerald for Princess Elise. Sonic accepts and is obviously tricked by Eggman. With the power of the Blue and Clear Chaos Emeralds, Eggman could actually complete his time machine and send Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles to the future. So in this alternate timeline, Eggman's actually going to need 2 Chaos Emeralds to power his time machine, not 1. Temporarily, Eggman stored his Clear Emerald in Egg Genesis version 1, which meant that his time machine would not run without 2 Chaos Emeralds. Not too long after this event, Omega appeared in Eggman's base looking for a way to travel to the future. With the help of Eggman's Blue Emerald and Omega's Red Emerald, the time machine could run once more, for Omega to be sent to the future in cost of his Red Emerald. Now, after Omega is actually sent to the future, Eggman will need the Blue Emerald for seeking for other emeralds because his ultimate objective is to get all the Chaos Emeralds. And because of this, he does take the Blue Emerald out of his time machine and takes it with him when he goes looking for other Chaos Emeralds, such as the emerald near Kingdom Valley in Sonic's story. And ultimately, at this point in time, this would explain why the egg carrier starts malfunctioning. You could argue it's the Chaos Emerald's power being unstable, but I do have a subplot that actually explains how and why this happens. But technically, it isn't the Emerald's power that does this, it's actually Mephiles, because let's not forget, he does want the Emerald. So, Mephiles summons the Blue Emerald to his presence and completes his transformation once again into Solaris. But, yeah, that's pretty much how that goes with the Blue Emerald. So, for now, let's move on to the Green Emerald. The Green Emerald was originally found by Mephiles in Tropical Jungle. With the power of this Green Emerald, plus a Purple Emerald he also had in his possession, he takes these to the future with him, so he can use its power to merge with Iblis again to transform into Solaris. Mephiles finds Iblis as a large wildfire, then he uses the Green and Purple Emerald to merge with him, but sadly for Mephiles, Mephiles is rejected by Iblis, as the Emeralds wasn't strong enough to merge both forms. The only result caused by the Emeralds was deforming Iblis from a wildfire into a large monster. This ultimately becomes Iblis Phase 1. Due to failure, Mephiles ditches the Green Chaos Emerald, leaving it in Crisis City. Not too soon later, Shadow and Rouge find the Green Emerald in the same location Mephiles left it. This results in them using the Green and Sky Emerald to travel back to the present in Shadow and Sonic's timeline. After Sonic and Shadow open the portal to go back to the present, everyone jumps in except Shadow. Instead, he throws the Green Emerald into the portal, causing it to close as he chases after Mephiles, who he sees in the background, eavesdropping. Rouge returns to the present in the Soliana Forest with the Green Emerald in her possession. She then decides to help Shadow out by finding Omega, located in Tropical Savannah, and instructs him to travel to the future and help Shadow get back to the present. Omega then finds the Red Emerald, but cannot travel through time alone. His lead eventually travels to Eggman's base at White Acropolis and deals with Eggman to leave his Red Emerald behind, in return that Eggman can use the Blue and Red Emeralds to run his time machine and successfully teleport Omega and the Green Emerald to the future. And the rest is pretty much the same as the normal story. These events all lead to the end of Shadow's campaign. Ultimately, Mephiles snatching the Yellow and Green Emeralds as a bright light emerges, allowing him to collect all the emeralds to finally complete his transformation into Solaris once again. And with that, the Green Emerald is done. Now then, let's move on to the Sky Emerald. The Sky Emerald originally was found by Mephiles in Radical Train. He found it after telling Silver to complete his task to kill the Iblis Trigger, aka Sonic, at the terminal station. He travels to the future to find Iblis to attempt to transform into Solaris once again. Finding him as a Flame and Flame Core, he uses both Purple and Sky Emeralds, but this time to not use as much power compared to his failure before. But he is rejected again, deforming Iblis's flames again into what would become Iblis Phase 2. This is also why the volcano starts to erupt in both Sonic and Shadow's timeline. Mephiles leaving the Sky Emerald in Flame Core with Iblis, then notices Shadow and Sonic entering the room, witnessing them defeating Iblis with the Sky Emerald, ultimately to open a portal back to the present. But sadly for Mephiles, he is caught eavesdropping by Shadow. These events all lead to the end of Sonic's story, until Sonic gives the Sky Emerald to Silver, confidently confirming he can handle the past by himself. Silver, now with the Sky Emerald, tries to seal Iblis with the power of the Sky and Clear Emerald, but is rejected. With the help of Blaze, she succeeds in sealing Iblis since she is royalty. After Iblis was sealed into Blaze and sealed again into another dimension, Silver, picking up both the Sky and Clear Emerald, is visited by Mephiles as he emits a bright white light, snatching the 2 emeralds and completing his transformation into Solaris once again. With that said, let's move on to the Clear Chaos Emerald. The clear emerald was originally found by Eggman in White Acropolis when he built his base on top of a snowy base known as White Acropolis. He used this emerald for his time machine he was creating. He just needed 2 emeralds to power it. He found out Princess Elise had inherited the blue emerald from her father after death. Plotting to take it from her directly and announce his name to the public, he planned to attack the upcoming Soliana festival and steal Princess Elise and the blue emerald. His plans didn't quite go too well, but with the blue emerald in Sonic's possession, he bargains with him to trade the princess for the blue emerald, when in reality he just wants to test out the time machine. With the time machine finally tested, he has to wait for results to come in. In the meantime, he's still working on his Egg Genesis prototype, so he decides to inject the clear emerald to eliminate any intruders. This results in Silver and Blaze battling the Fortress machine. Team Light is successful and retrieves the clear emerald inside of Egg Genesis. This ultimately means that the blue emerald originated from the past. It was used to seal Iblis into Elise. It was given to Silver by the Duke. Silver gives the blue emerald to unconscious Elise in the past. This obviously makes future events still possible. And the clear emerald, on the other hand, Silver obtains from the present, takes it to the past, and from the past back to the present, with no plot holes intersecting with this constructed timeline. These events all lead to the end of Silver's story until Mephiles confronts Silver as he emits a bright light, snatching both the sky and clear emeralds to complete his transformation once again into Solaris. With that said, let's move on. Let's take a look at the purple emerald, shall we? The purple emerald was originally found by Mephiles in Wave Ocean. Yeah, that's right, I'm changing it from instead of being the Soliana Forest, I'm changing it to Wave Ocean. Mainly because, at least this way, it isn't like you can find a Chaos Emerald in a hub world. And on top of that, it also answers the question as to what Mephiles is even doing in Wave Ocean to begin with. Because it isn't like Omega ran into Mephiles then, so he was there for a purpose, and we later find out that he's looking for any and every Chaos Emerald that he can find. This is obviously why he goes to Dusty Desert after this, after obtaining the Purple Emerald in Wave Ocean. Now, the cutscene that appears in the last episode, obviously, as mentioned, will be changed to Wave Ocean instead of the forest. It's only a matter of when this will appear. Will it appear in the last episode's storyline, or will it appear in Shadow's episode, but before Omega starts finding and shooting at Mephiles? So overall, Mephiles found the Purple Emerald in Wave Ocean. He found it when deciding to look for more than 2 Chaos Emeralds to join with Solaris. At this point in time, Mephiles has the power of the purple, the yellow, the green, and the red Chaos Emeralds. Damn, that's a lot. He tries merging but is rejected once more. Man, he must be frustrated. He goes back in time to get Silver to kill Sonic by showing him a projection of Sonic in the Purple Emerald. This way he can join with the present Iblis, as he knows that Elise will cry if Sonic dies. After many fails of Silver to kill Sonic, Mephiles takes matters into his own hands. He finds Sonic at his most vulnerable and distracts him with the Purple Emerald as it emits a bright light. With the power of the yellow, green, and red emeralds, he stabs Sonic with a Chaos Spear, ultimately killing him. Releasing Iblis from Elise meant he had to act quickly before Iblis attracted too much attention by growing and deforming into something monstrous, as we have seen in the past. Quickly snatching and obtaining all 7 Chaos Emeralds, he finally completes his transformation into Solaris once again. You can definitely feel Mephiles' frustration as 4 emeralds seem to fail on him, and for that reason you can kind of see his frustration and need to kill Sonic immediately by any means necessary. I mean, come on, how often do you see a character have 4 Chaos Emeralds in their possession, only for it to fail on them? Let's move on to the yellow Chaos Emerald, shall we? The yellow emerald, buried in the ruins of Dusty Desert, was found by Mephiles before getting confronted by Shadow and the rest of Team Dark. With a big showdown, Mephiles remains triumphant as he steals the green emerald while Team Dark were taking heavy damage. Making multiple Mephiles clones, he wants to end the fight quickly so he can find Iblis and join with him again as he acquired the purple emerald too at this point in time. Sadly for Mephiles, Shadow won the battle, but Mephiles decided if he lost the battle, he wasn't going to lose the war. So he snatched the green and yellow emeralds while distracting Team Dark and gathers the rest of the Chaos Emeralds to complete his transformation into Solaris once again. That's pretty much all the Chaos Emeralds done except for the red emerald, because the red emerald, man, it has the most interesting plot in 06, because I'm going to explain to you what it does in retail. Ready? Here it comes. Nothing! Nothing at all. Doesn't appear once in an in-game cutscene, doesn't appear once in single-player gameplay. I am serious, go ahead, go right now and play End of the World. You will not see the red emerald there. It's actually swapped with the white Chaos Emerald model. That's actually the same for the green emerald as well, so I kinda don't get what's the dealio with that. But if you even take a look at the soundtrack to End of the World, you'll see that Shadow Section's music name is called End of the World the Red, as if that the red emerald was meant to appear in gameplay. And that's obviously the same with Omega. He was going to find the green emerald, but instead both emerald models were swapped with the white emerald for whatever goddamn reason, so yeah, that's a thing. The green emerald I'm not too fussed about because that does still appear in in-game cutscenes, but it's just a shame that you don't actually get to see this in gameplay. But the red emerald is far too unforgiving. I mean, come on, it doesn't appear once in an in-game cutscene, it doesn't appear once in a single-player gameplay. The only time you can see the red Chaos Emerald is only in multiplayer, but that's why I said single player, because you don't get to see it once in single player, both cutscenes and gameplay. Yeah, sure, maybe in pre-rendered cutscenes, but that's not really an in-game cutscene, is it? No, the only time you get to see it in gameplay is actually in multiplayer. Like, damn, son! So yeah, the red emerald does nothing in 06, so that's kind of good and bad in my favor. It's bad that it doesn't have a plot. It's good in my favor because I can create a new plot for the red emerald that kind of fits, that doesn't interact with everybody, but still interacts with side characters. And that's exactly what this emerald is going to do. So let's get started. The red emerald originated in Kingdom Valley and was found by Omega, which led to him trading the red emerald for Eggman to send Omega and his green emerald to the future to save Shadow. Eggman, after sending Omega to the future, injected the red emerald into Metal Sonic, as he needed one emerald to power the robot. With Metal Sonic powered, Eggman ordered Metal to hunt Amy and Elise, since in this alternate timeline, Amy's going to be the one who actually helps Elise escape instead of, well, Elise just opening the door and walking in front of Amy. With Elise finally captured again thanks to Metal Sonic, his next objective was to find all the Chaos Emeralds, and he started his search in Radical Train as he scanned it was the closest emerald nearby. He sees Mephiles obtaining the Sky Emerald and opening a portal to Flamecore in the future. As Mephiles jumps in, Metal Sonic follows him. After reaching the erupting volcano in Flamecore, he notices Sonic with the Sky Emerald, jumping into the portal back to the present. He follows Sonic to finally steal it, but he's teleported to Kingdom Valley. Meanwhile, Sonic and the gang were teleported elsewhere. There, Eggman picks up a reading on the Chaos Emerald coming from Metal Sonic. This explains why Eggman finds a reading from an emerald coming from Kingdom Valley, mainly because it's coming from Metal Sonic. Before Eggman reaches Metal Sonic, his egg carrier starts to malfunction, as Mephiles suspects that Eggman has emeralds. This leads to a showdown with Metal Sonic and Mephiles having a full-on boss battle, and results in Mephiles destroying Metal Sonic and obtaining the red emerald, completing his transformation once again into Solaris. So there you have it, guys. The red emerald will be intercepting with Metal Sonic's campaign throughout his entire story. But yeah, that pretty much explains everything, I suppose. So let me know what you guys actually think about this alternate timeline with all the emerald plot fixes, and let me know if I should change something or add something, because I'm always open to suggestions. So yeah, that's all for now, guys. Hope you enjoyed this really long video. You know, it's a lot of explanations for everything, but I kind of needed to do that to explain everything. But that's all for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this long video, and yeah, till next time, I am out. Peace out, guys.